Hello? Is this working? Are we live? Oh my God, I think it's working. What's up, guys? I see a chat room. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me okay? I've got a little Ray Ray who's very excited as well. Come here. What are you doing? Okay. Here we go. You got the both of us. How's everyone doing? Oh, some of y'all were waiting? Good heavens. Oh my, look at all this. Hi, hi, hi. Hey, Allie, Vern, D. Walker. Oh, all my favorites from the comments are here. Thank you, Tamara. Yeah, this is that same Afro wig that I was obsessed with earlier in the summer. Hi, hi, hi. Ray says, hi, hi, Marlene. I can't believe this worked on the first try because I've watched a lot of YouTube live streams that had to get started over and over and over. So hopefully that won't happen to us. I did not really have a chance to do a proper test run. I was just kind of fiddling around with it yesterday. Yes, you've been waiting. I'm here. I'm a aggressively punctual person. So I really wanted to make sure I was in here at 5. Hi, Mrs. Fancy Roberts. Connecticut, Tri-State. Hello from Queens, even though I'm in Cali now. Look at Ray Ray. What are you doing? Okay, G Row. That's actually a great place to start. I am not back in the gym. I have not gone to the gym in about 2 months, and I don't want to talk about this too long because if I keep talking about the fact that I can't work out right now, I will probably burst into tears. But I do have my hot toddy to keep me going here. But yeah, I'm quite injured. My back is really bad. I actually got an MRI for it just this past Thursday. So I have an appointment with my chiropractor in the morning, and he's going to let me know if I have to throw out my entire spine and get a new one. Fingers crossed the answer is no. Hi, Zalisha. Hi from Georgia. Thank you. Yeah, my back, I've been getting a lot of love on my back right now. Honestly, because I haven't worked out in 2 months, my body is very undefined right now. But I think I have maybe slimmed down a bit, maybe lost a little bit of fat because I'm still doing my intermittent fasting. And I still eat quite well most of the time. Is my spine covered under Medicare? I doubt it. My insurance is terrible. My deductible is like $8 million. So I had to pay my MRI out of pocket, which is terrific. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to need surgery. The good thing is I can't view the images because I don't have whatever it is that I think only doctors have access to whatever programs and stuff that you need. But they send you a written report, just like a Word document explaining what their radiologist, who's also a doctor, has kind of decided is the diagnosis. And I was just Googling the terms after I got it on Friday, and it doesn't sound like it's anything that requires surgery, but it also doesn't sound like something that I can necessarily never have to worry about again once I am out of pain. My goal is to just get out of pain and do a lot more comprehensive things in my training to prevent these injuries from coming back, fixing my imbalances, being a lot more diverse in my training so that my body and muscles are being strengthened literally in every direction. Okay. Oh, Alicia. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to keep up with these chats while also talking to you guys. It's a lot. I need a moderator. Yes, Tashi, you are right. It's terrible not to be able to do something that you love because fitness is very important to me. My workouts, exercise is my antidepressant. So to not have that, I have kind of felt myself slipping back into negative thinking and negative thoughts. But I've got a Ray Ray, and she helps a lot. And honestly, immersing myself in work has helped a lot. So that's another reason I decided to do Vlogmas. I really like to stay busy, and I like to feel productive. If it's a productive day, it's a happy day for me. So that motivated me to be productive here and be creative and hang out with you guys more and do more content this month. Okay, Brown Beauty from, I'm pretty sure I have 0 cents. I don't know what you mean about East Side of LA. I think I missed something there. Miss Fancy Roberts, try a Reiki. I've heard of, I don't know if it's pronounced Reiki or Reiki, but I'm always about natural ways of healing and alternative medicines. So I'm pretty open to anything. Giro, yes, actually, swimming is on my list of things that I'm going to incorporate into my training once I'm healed, because it's zero impact. It's great for your lung capacity, and it's not something that I'm doing right now, which means it will challenge muscles that are probably being underworked due to my extremely sedentary job, where I sit right where you see me right now, either writing or editing. Okay. Thank you, Aquarian. I'm sure I will heal. I'm just in a rough spot right now. D-Wall, can you keep it real because of your diet? Yeah, I mean, I'm not perfect. I was eating donuts last weekend because it was treat day, and I refuse to completely not let myself have anything if I have a craving. But the good news is I generally crave foods that are good for me, because after eating those donuts, I felt like shit. So it's pretty easy to mitigate how often I have foods like that. Taylor Robinson, I tried fasting and it's so hard. I'm always hungry. You know what? That's kind of normal. Your body's accustomed to eating on a certain schedule and eating at certain times of day. If it's not for you, don't feel pressured to do it. For me, I have a very, I tend to just go hard in the paint. When I set my mind to do something, I'm fucking going to do it. And I was able to adjust to intermittent fasting relatively easily. It's harder for me now that I start eating later in the day. So I do still have days where I'm hungry, but it was still a relatively easy transition for me because I don't naturally crave breakfast, at least not at breakfast time. I love breakfast foods, but I don't wake up hungry unless I went to bed hungry. So it was pretty easy for me to get to around 2 p.m. and then have an 8-hour eating window from 2 to 10. Nowadays, I tend to eat closer to 4 or 5 p.m. and then I just have a smaller eating window. So I have increased hours that I'm burning fat. Jackie Brown, no more beast mode. Not until my back is healed. Let's see. Oh my God, there's so many comments. Yes, I'm going to avoid surgery if I can. I mean, I don't even think that that's an option for me realistically. I 100% plan to heal naturally. Okay. Yeah, back pain, it's no joke. I mean, I can show you guys, I'm actually wearing a back brace right now. Like this is real life. I have on a back brace that my chiropractor gave me. I've been wearing this for about a month. It's best when I'm seated because that's when my back hurts the most. If I'm up and walking, that's when it feels the best. So it's great if I'm out walking the dog or something like that. But if I'm working, which is a good chunk of my day, that is when my back is bothering me the most. My day was great. Thank you, the dance party. I was actually just working mostly on tomorrow's video, tomorrow for Vlogmas, because like I said in my video from yesterday, I do want to do these live streams on Sundays to keep things interesting, but that still does mean that I have to film, edit, upload videos for every other day of the week. So it's been a lot of work. It's been keeping me plenty busy, but I'm actually really excited about a lot of the videos coming out. I hope you guys like them. Okay. Okay. What lip shade is this? I am actually wearing one of the new Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. I don't know if you guys follow Lisa Eldridge. I know I've mentioned her a couple times in makeup related videos before, but she is an OG YouTuber, but even more than a YouTuber, she's a proper makeup artist. She's a legendary makeup artist, top of her field. So talented and skilled, and she's a legend. And she came out with 3 red shades because she is sort of cleaved to the red lip in terms of editorial looks and red carpet looks. Like the red lip is like Lisa Eldridge's thing. I think the toddy's already going to my head, you guys, because I'm stammering like an idiot. But she released 3 shades of reds. There was an orangey red, a true red, and then a deep red. I'm wearing the deepest one, which is called Velvet Jazz. Right here. And I don't think you're going to be able to see it because this is just a shitty webcam, but the side of the lipstick literally looks like it has the texture of velvet fabric. The formula is also amazing. It feels so comfortable. I love red lips. You guys see me wearing them a lot. I did buy one other shade. I bought the True Red, which I think is called Velvet Ribbon. I did not get the orangey red because those tend to look a little bit funny on me. I have to be very selective. And I already have MAC Lady Danger, so I feel like I'm all set on my orange reds. Let's see. Ever thought about radio? You have the voice for it, just the thought. That's so funny because well, thank you, first of all. I have not really pursued anything like that, but I've had friends telling me that I should do a podcast since college, so over 10 years now. And I work in show business. I'm a writer director, as a lot of you guys know, primarily in digital content. So for example, this year I've written and directed several shows that are on Facebook. And in the past, I've done a lot of shows for YouTube channels as well, which is why a lot of times I haven't had time for my own YouTube channel because I'm busy making shows for other people. In any event, more than one editor I have worked with have told me that I need to start doing voiceover work because they think that I have, because they listen to a lot of voiceover actors as editors. It's part of the gig. And it's just weird that I get that comment a lot. I've always hated the sound of my own voice. I had to get used to it through editing my own videos and hearing it back, because the first time you hear yourself on tape, it will make you cringe, but I'm used to it now at least. Will we get that New Orleans meetup? Yes, I think so, because it looks like I'm definitely going. I just have to figure out the best day to do it and the best place as well. So if any of you guys are actually looking to show up to that, let me know. I guess maybe just let me know here, and we'll or maybe I'll do another community post. Maybe that's better. And then I do have a date in mind based on when I'm going to be there. But in terms of where, I think it's probably going to be somewhere in the Quarter, because that's pretty accessible and everyone knows where the French Quarter is. And I just have to pick a spot because it will be a bit chilly. It'll be January and I don't want us freezing our tits off. So I got to figure out a good spot. Ideally a place where we can get some adult beverages as well. Let me see. May I ask what's in your toddy? All caps. Yes, girl. All right. So a hot toddy, the basic version, and this is actually a pretty basic one as well. I don't have one of the things that I like to include, which I'll get to in a moment. A hot toddy is hot water, lemon, and whiskey and honey. Some bars or other places will serve you a hot toddy with sugar. Never go to that place again. That's incorrect. A hot toddy should be honey, because that is the correct way to make it. In mine, I just have lemon, hot water. I have honey, of course. And then I have Bullet bourbon. Oh, no, this is actually Makers, which I have infused with butternut squash. If you're part of my Instagram fam, you might have seen when I was making this butternut squash bourbon maybe 2 weeks ago. I did an Instagram story where I showed step-by-step how to make it. It's very, very easy. Maybe what I'll do is I'll add that to my Instagram story highlights so that it's there permanently in case any of you guys want to check it out. I can do that after we're done here. Let me see. Do you ever visit NYC? I do, but not very often. I think people underestimate just how time-consuming it is to travel from Cali to New York. You basically lose a day getting there because the flight is 6 hours and then there's a 3-hour time difference. That's 9 hours. So it's not very convenient for me to go, and there's also just not that much incentive for me to go. Whenever I go back and visit, I get nostalgic for about 3 days and then I'm over it. Usually by then my family is driving me fucking crazy and I'm ready to come back to LA. But I do still very much get wistful when I'm just in New York and visiting my favorite haunts and eating beef patties with cocoa bread, because I do not know where to get that out here and I miss them at least once a week. Where are the beef patties at, Callie? Okay, let's see. I'll go join you. Thank you, Mrs. Fancy Roberts. Yes. What does the bourbon taste like with the squash? I love it. I feel like it's very, very festive and autumnal and fall appropriate. At this point, I've been making the butternut squash bourbon so long that I prefer it to plain bourbon. I like to have it in stock at home at all times if I can, but I do tend to slack off in the summer because it just doesn't seem right in the summer. But yeah, I love the butternut squash bourbon for hot toddies, old fashions, really anything. It's great. Yes, Tayera. I hope I'm saying that right. If I do come back to New York, or I should say, I will come back to New York, the next time I come back, I'll probably do a meetup of some kind because I know a lot of my YouTube fam is out there. I always see you guys in the comments. You guys pick up when I'm slipping up on my accent because I have been out in Cali like 10 years. I came out here for my freshman year of college. So I've been out here a pretty long time now, and I have managed to do what I call TV talk, where you just have no accent. But if I've been drinking, and I'm even hearing it now, like with every sip of this toddy, the accent starts coming out. If I'm tired, if I'm talking to family, if I'm a little bit lit, you will hear the queens. Lyrena, where are you where you can't get beef patties either? And hi, Miss Sherry. Gone with any European trip scheduled for 2019? As a matter of fact, yes, I'm going to Amsterdam and I cannot wait. It's booked. It's happening. Am I into vision boards, and will I be doing one for 2019? I love the idea of a vision board, and I've never done one, mostly out of laziness, but I feel like I should because I do believe in the power of positive thinking. You know, I know people used to talk about The Secret and stuff like that, but I also think that's basically prayer, and I believe in prayer. So yeah, I think vision boards are a great way to sort of actually have a tangible representation of the things that you are trying to get and that you ultimately are going to get. Isn't a beef patty just a burger? Clearly, you're not West Indian. That I guess the terms are the same, but a beef patty is a specific thing. I'm Trinidadian on my dad's side. My dad's a Trini. And a beef patty is basically a little meat pie. It's got spices, and sometimes I'll have like little onion or whatever in there with ground meat, spices in this delicious flaky crust. You can just pick it up with your hands, but the best is when you get a beef patty with cocoa bread, which is basically putting bread on bread. It's so good. Hey, from Kuwait. Wow, what time is it in Kuwait? Oh, Chloe, what the fuck? People can't get burgers in Cali. No, we have tons of burger joints in Cali. In my estimation, Cali is possibly like the burger capital of the US simply because of the number of burger joints and fast food joints we have out here, because we have a normal amount of fast food places in New York, but out here in LA, I remember when I first got here, they have all the places we have, you know, Burger King, McDonald's, whatever, and then they have twice as many more that I had never heard of. I remember I was just like, the fuck is Carl's Jr. when I first got here? There's all sorts of things that I'd never even seen before. What lippy is that? We talked about that a moment ago. This is the Lisa Eldridge lipstick. Lisa Eldridge is a makeup artist. She's super duper famous and talented. And this is Velvet Jazz. I think these are sold out right now, and they're a pretty penny anyway, because when I saw that the prices were in pounds, because she's British, I was just like, I don't even want to know what that is in dollars, but I couldn't resist. They're sold out, but she is doing a restock. So if you're curious about them, just check out her website. It's lisaeldridge.com, and I'm sure she'll have the information there. Hi, Christina. Oh, Baltimore. I really want to go to Baltimore, mainly because I love The Wire. And honestly, that should deter me from wanting to go to Baltimore, that show. But I really want to go. Carl's Jr. Yeah, I think Carl's Jr. and Hardee's are the same company, but they're just called Hardee's like east of the Mississippi and Carl's Jr. west or something like that. Have I ever been to Jamaica? I've been to Jamaica, Queens, which is where I'm from. I've never been to Jamaica. Do we have Smash Burger? We do have Smash Burger. I only went to it once, and I was not impressed at all. I was just in LA last month, and I miss In-N-Out so much, planning another foodie trip out there. In-N-Out is good. I do think In-N-Out is better. It's probably the only place I will eat from that actually has a drive-through. Like I try to, it's sort of like my first rule of finding quality food. Like if you can drive through it, don't eat it. But in a pinch or in a craving, In-N-Out I will do. It's good. If you do come to Baltimore, stay in the tourist spots. Girl, I know. I mean, I know how to watch my back too because I'm from Queens, but I'm also not trying to get into any trouble. Lyrena, Trini on both sides. Yeah, just my dad. My mom is from Brooklyn. To find out where we are from beyond that, I'd have to do like a ancestry DNA situation. Arizona in the middle of summer. Yeah, not recommended. I wouldn't do that. The only drive-through I like is Chick-fil-A. Yeah, Chick-fil-A is pretty good. I'm still conflicted about them being anti-gay though. Like I'm like, look, I mean, the French fries are good and everything, but I don't really want to support an anti-gay business. Like the fries aren't that damn good. Although the one here in LA, there's one on Sunset Boulevard and they came out as very pro-gay, very supportive of gay. I think they were even hanging rainbow flags when that whole controversy was first going on about Chick-fil-A being anti-gay. But they're still paying out of pocket to be a franchise to the corporation that is anti-gay. So by supporting them, you're still technically supporting an anti-gay organization. Am I still doing Whole30? No, girl, I was eating donuts like a week ago, but I still eat Whole30 probably 90–95% of the time. My mom is from Antigua. Dad is from St. Kitts. Oh, well, we got people from all over here. I think the CEO that was oh, is that right? Well, I'll have to look into that. I don't know if the company has publicly changed their stance, but if they have, I certainly never heard about it. But, you know, if they have, that would be good. London, England. Wow. Hi, Montage Film Reviews. What podcast do I listen to? I recently got into I honestly don't really listen to any podcasts. I've listened to Pod Save America off and on, but I find it depressing. At this point, I generally get my news from international sources because every news source here is Trump, 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 Trump. And I only want to know the broad strokes. Otherwise, I will jump out of a basement window. I cannot do it. So I tend to watch like France 24 a lot on YouTube. They stream for free. And that way I can get the headlines to know exactly what I need to know about what's happening here at home. And then I can also get more comprehensive information on world news because most American news organizations completely ignore the rest of the world, which is completely ridiculous. Come to Toronto. I actually want to come to Toronto. That's on my list. It's not in my top 5 places, but it's on the list. Gunwin, you're my style crush. Thank you, love. Thank you so much. Do I listen to podcasts that aren't new or political? No, I generally don't listen to podcasts because I'm just overwhelmed by how many there are. There's so many, and I don't know where to start. And I also don't know which ones would necessarily tickle my pickle. I don't know. I don't really know when I would fit them in because when I'm home and I'm cooking and cleaning, that's when I like to listen to music. I would sometimes do podcasts in there, but yeah, if you guys have any ones that you think would suit me, because you guys kind of know me well at this point, if you're part of my YouTube family, let me know. Are you ever going to try to hit Essence Fest? Yes, I actually wanted to go this year and it didn't work out. I've wanted to go to Essence Fest many times. I don't know. I mean, once you hit 30, your enthusiasm about music festivals starts to go down a bit. So I don't know if I'm still going to be that enthusiastic about music festivals as time goes on, but that's one that I think I would brave again. I also want to go to Lollapalooza again. I used to love Lollapalooza. I haven't been in a few years because the lineup hadn't impressed me, but I love Chicago, love Lollapalooza, and I feel like that might be something that I go for this year if the lineup suits me. The Black Guy Who Tips. Is that the name of the podcast? I don't have a Spotify playlist. I haven't used Spotify in a long time. I use Pandora, which I know is kind of weird. I know that's sort of like old school, but another friend of mine, you know, we always get goofed on because we just prefer it. I think I like their algorithms better on their stations than I did on Spotify, and I'm a Pandora girl, so that's what I tend to use. The Read, I need to see. I've listened to The Read once or twice, and I liked it. I actually follow Chriselle on Instagram. Is that how you say it? I think it's Chriselle. I follow her on Instagram, but I've been told to listen to that podcast so many times. And I do like it, like when I've listened to it, but it's so much to keep up with. I need to get into that. How do I keep my stomach so flat? Girl, genetics mostly. I hate to break it to you. I mean, it's the same way my legs are so plump. Like, it's not a choice. My stomach won't be as flat if I'm eating like shit, but I find that if I'm eating the foods that don't upset me and cause bloatation situations, then my stomach just naturally stays pretty flat and defined, and it gets very, very defined if I'm able to work out as well. She eats the cleanest foods I've ever seen. That is definitely not true. I'm far from perfect. I could do a lot better. Can we get a Ray Ray close up? Ray Ray was just over here, but she's now retreated to the couch. Ray, come. They want to see you. Here she is. I like that you try to travel a lot. I want to visit so many countries, but a third world passport is stress. I have heard this before. My dad lives in Trinidad. I've told you guys that my dad is Trinidadian, but he also lives in Trinidad. And he's just like, yeah, this is basically a third world country, and trying to get bureaucratic type things done, like passports, driver's licenses, is a hassle. But yes, I think if it is reasonable for you to do so, and perhaps even if it isn't reasonable, I think it is really important to try to see the world. You know, experiences over things is kind of a cliche that people like to throw around a lot, but it's very true. I mean, I like things too. I like a good pair of boots, girl, but I think it's important to expand your worldview as wide as you possibly can, see how other people live, be exposed to different cultures, be exposed to different modes of thought. You know, we have a very specific way of thinking as Americans, and it's not necessarily identical to, it's usually very different to how people think and behave and approach situations in other parts of the world. And I think it's so, so beneficial just on a personal development level to be exposed to that sort of thing. Are there any shows that I watch? Tressie Ray says, hey, are there any shows that I watch that I would consider a guilty pleasure? Love After Lockup. Oh, gosh. I'm so behind on shows because I don't have channels at all. I just have Netflix and YouTube. I'd have to think about that because honestly, I'm so selective of the shows I watch now because it's a task for me to actually be able to watch them. So I just watch Atlanta. I was watching Louis, but I think that's done after Louis C.K.'s situation. I don't know. There's a couple things. Let me see. You got a kitten from a stranger. Well, I hope that works out for you. I'm definitely allergic to cats, which makes me not like them because I just think immediately of how much my throat is going to be closing up and I'm going to want to scratch my own eyes out from being allergic. My cat is all black. You know, black cats have the lowest adoption rates for obvious reasons because people are superstitious, but it also is true about black dogs. For whatever reason, people don't like to adopt black dogs almost as much as people don't like to adopt black cats. It's probably racism. Who do I watch on YouTube? I watch a lot of people on YouTube. I was just saying a moment ago, like all I have is Netflix and YouTube. So I watch a ton of YouTube. I have noticed that as time has gone on, I tend to favor a lot of the British YouTubers or just YouTubers who are not Americans. I think there was, I guess, a bit of a shift over the years in the behaviors within, at least within the beauty community a lot on YouTube that I don't personally care for. A lot of wealth flaunting and just general tackiness. So I watch a lot of British YouTubers. I like, who do I like? Let me look at my subscription list really quick. Because as soon as someone asks you questions like that, you draw a blank. Okay, so, okay, here's an American I love. I love Samantha Rovendal. I only discovered her this year, but I've been pretty obsessed with her. I also really like Raw Beauty Christie, Alana Davison, who is Canadian. So Samantha's Canadian as well. Christie, I think, is in Seattle. Mel Thompson, I love. Who else? I still like Smartista, Brie Hall. I like her. I love Ivy. Ivy Deer, or I forget what she goes by now, but, you know, Ivy, creator of the flip over method. We all know Ivy. I like Karen Britchick. She is from the UK, living in New York. I, of course, love a lot of fitness YouTubers like Natasha Ossian. I like Grace Fit UK. I like Rachel Ost. Those are just a few. Okay, so whoever Ron is, okay, Ron Paul. Okay, he's blocked. There we go. Okay, so I don't know if that worked or not, but I did my best to block Ron Paul. Let's see. Yeah, I expected there would be a troll at some point during these live streams. These people are losers, and I think they just go to look at whoever is going live at any given moment. They look for a black face on the thumbnail, and then they start trolling, because I have never watched a live stream of any YouTubers I follow who are people of color and not seen racist-ass trolls pop up. And I'm like, how, Sway? Like, how are they even finding this shit? This is my first live, Isabel. You have not missed a thing. My pets are all black and look like demons, but they're so sweet. Yeah, Chloe, if you just YouTube search Ivy and flip over method, you'll see she created basically a way of installing weaves and wigs that don't require closures, but still look very believable. To be honest, I still don't fully understand how to do it. I've never quite gotten it, but she created it. And, you know, so many people have basically stolen her idea and capitalized on it, built huge channels. And it's just like, can you please credit Ivy though? Oh, here we go. We got another moron, I think. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm not even exactly sure. I'm not even sure if I'm doing this properly, but here we go. Okay, Ivy is amazing and so sweet, isn't she? I'm glad that she is feeling better, because if you watch her, you know that she had like a tummy tuck or something earlier this year, because she's been sharing her weight loss battles and struggle for quite some time. And she decided to go the surgery route, which in my opinion should always be a last resort. And it really was a hard time for her. I think she nearly died, but she's feeling a lot better. So thank God for that. Okay, sorry, I have to report another person. Okay. Yeah, Virgin Mary. I already see this person. Was her tummy tuck in the US, Isabel? Yes. I think she got it done right in Chicago where she lives, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, if you guys see any trolls before I do, I think you guys are also able to like flag messages. So if you see something that you don't like, go ahead and flag them too. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but I also would at least like to inconvenience these dickheads by making them at least come up with a new screen name so that they have to waste some time. Hi, Ayana. Happy Vlogmas, and thank you. Vern. Hi, Vern. You always comment. I have seen the Rev Air. It's $400, so I won't be buying that. I would be happy to review it if they sent it to me, but I think a lot of brands don't reach out to me because I'm honest. I mean, I honestly think that that would probably work pretty well on my hair. From the videos I've seen, there's a learning curve, but I think a lot of brands are reticent to work with me because I say what I think. And that's just the honest truth. Okay. Rev is $100 off right now. Well, that's good for anyone who's got $300 then, I guess. Oh, I can assign moderator. All right, Geraldine, let me make you a moderator since you let me even know. If any of you other ones out there want to be moderators, you know, the next like 3 or 4 people, I'll just put you on. Yeah, Tamara, I think it's a tough game being an honest YouTuber if you actually want to do it full time, which I am toying with the idea. I mean, especially as things are very slow right now. This time of year in show business is notoriously slow because there generally aren't things in production. And then I was at a party a week or two ago with some friends, and we're all freelancers. So we all know this hustle, we know this grind. And we were all just kind of sweating like, man, like, where is the work at? This time of year is dry, girl. So that's another reason that I'm happy to be doing Vlogmas, because I can at least like put all that creative energy back into my channel. And, you know, like I don't make a lot of money from YouTube at all, certainly not enough to pay more than like my gas bill or something. But I do love the idea of being able to do stuff like this full time, because then I would only have to work for myself. I wouldn't be waiting for other people to hire me for jobs, and I would get to just create. You know, that's all I really want to do is, you know, I say it all the time, cook, train, create. Habib Bijan, I pay up to 154. I think you're talking about that dryer. Forgotten Roar, I'll add you as a moderator. There you go. Shelly, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up. Let me add you. Yeah, 300 is too much. What exactly do I do in the media and how did I get into it? I'm a writer director and I went to film school and I worked my way up ever since. I mean, it sounds more straightforward than it probably was, but that honestly is the short version. After I graduated from USC. I started out as an assistant. I worked at a number of different production companies and places like that until eventually I transitioned from TV shows, because I worked on a lot of talk shows like Jimmy Kimmel, places like that, into digital content, working for YouTube. And I've been writing and directing shows in the digital space for the past couple of years. I remind you of OG YouTube. That is what I'm going for. I mean, I started watching YouTube when I was, you know, first trying to figure out how to take care of my hair properly. Even though I never had a perm, I didn't really know how to look after my hair texture because my mom always took care of it. And then I went to college and I didn't really know what the hell I was doing. And it broke off a bunch. And YouTube was my resource. And I think YouTube has changed a lot in a lot of ways that are negative. And I don't want to be representative of that. I want to do my own thing. So thank you. Okay, so the thought of people using a vacuum is hilarious. Yeah, it is, right? You literally are vacuuming your hair with that dryer. I want to try it though, because the results are impressive, but it's really bulky. And I don't know if I even want to have a big old device like that around here to have to schlep around. I actually just sold my Pibbs dryer earlier this year, and I'm so glad that thing is out of my apartment. Have I ever fasted? I fast every day, and I love Who is Shug, by the way. Heard of the snake diet? I have no idea what that is. If you have time, you can teach English online. That's an interesting idea. My mom, or she was a teacher. My mom was a teacher most of my life. She taught first grade and kindergarten, and now she still tutors on the side. Yeah, you know, Habibi Jan, I thought that I was going to love my Pibbs too, but I just didn't have much use for it. I found that one of the main problems with it was the hood wasn't big enough for me to fit my head under there once I had my rollers in, because usually I would be using giant magnetic rollers because I was trying to just stretch my hair rather than curl it. So I would have like the Coke can size magnetic rollers, couldn't fit under my Pibbs with those. And then I couldn't fit under there with the curl formers really either. And when I could, it would just be getting the top of my head and not really around here, which is where the curl formers were hanging. So it just wasn't worth keeping around for me. And I was able to sell it on Craigslist. When was I last in New York? Not recently. I haven't been in New York for well over a year, probably more like 2 years at this point. How did my stand-up gig go? It went pretty well. Honestly, I was thrown off because the guy who went up before me, he's not really a comic. Like I was following a guy who was like just doing it as a favor to Mark, who was the headliner. And Let me put it this way. One of his first jokes was about tucking his dick into his sock. And then he also went on to tell a joke about shitting himself in his car. Tough act to follow. So yeah, I mean, I literally saw women in particular getting up from the audience to use the restroom during his set. So I was definitely like, well, I'm going to be climbing out of a hole on this one. I mean, I'm pretty experienced with stand-up. I haven't been doing it that much in recent years, but I've been getting back into it this year again. And I did it a lot in the past. And once you can read the room, I was just like, oh, I am fucked right now. Yeah, big yikes indeed. Do I still use the straightening brush? Hey, Nerdy Nap. I do. I used it my last wash day. I've been basically using it every 5 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. I don't want to be putting heat on my hair too much because I'm still playing around with it and making sure I don't get to a point of using it so much that I damage my hair, because I don't want heat damage. I don't need my ends popping off, but I have loved that brush, and I wish I had the guts to use it sooner than I did. What is my style of comedy? I think I do a lot of more storytelling style comedy now. It's a little bit different to what it was when I was younger and starting out. I don't really do as much kind of set up punchline stuff. I do a lot of observational stuff, talking about my dog's asshole, things of that nature. Hey, Nerdy Nat. I can't remember if you've used Briogeo products or not. I have not used them yet. I think though, and I guess this will be just a little sneak peek for those of you who are my true family members and are here with me on this live, but I think I want to do I tried products from Sephora on my 4C hair type of video. I feel like that sounds like something people would actually be interested to see, because I don't think of Sephora as a place where I can go to get hair products, but maybe I'm wrong. If I were, hi, Hila or Hyla, if I were to do a podcast, what would be the focus? Nutrition, story, comedy? I don't know. I mean, I've been asked or told, I should say, to do a podcast by friends before, but I honestly don't know what it should be. I don't know. I mean, even with YouTube, I struggle because I feel like I have so many different interests, but I don't know that my audience necessarily shares all of those interests. I know some of you do, and it's probably those of you who are on this live right now with me, the ones who would actually tune in to watch a stream. But I know there's a lot of people who only watch my hair videos, and then they complain when I do content on anything else, as if that's going to make me stop. I mean, I'm a multifaceted person. I am not my hair, okay? And I think that I have a lot of different interests. So I don't know what I would want to do or how I would want to classify a podcast were I to do one. Briogeo is Black owned? Wow, today I learned. Redken and macadamia oil are Sephora products. I don't think Sephora carries Redken, but I know Ulta does. Yeah, Isabel, thank you. Thank you for the back. I was like, I used to use Redken like back in the day before I even started doing YouTube, because this girl who braided my hair told me I needed it. And I used them for quite some time. Nobody does just hair videos. Well, some people do. The problem with that is, like, how many videos can you really do on hair after a point? I mean, you can do product reviews, but like, how many times are you going to show people how to do a twist out? I mean, really? That's one thing that I struggle with personally, because I say in my videos all the time, I don't want to do videos that are reductive or redundant or things that we've already kind of gotten our minds wrapped around. So whenever I do a hair video, I want to make sure that I've got a clear vision of what I'm bringing to the table that I haven't necessarily seen before. The next 2 years, a big opportunity will happen for you. Bio, I hope you're right. Nerdinut, my favorite YouTubers cover a variety of topics. I agree. I think, isn't that kind of the fun part of YouTube? You get to connect with people. They become your friends, either friends in your head or friends for real. And some of you guys I do think of as my real friends, and you know who you are. But yeah, I think with your friends, you don't want to only talk about hair all the time or only want to talk about food all the time or whatever. Let's see. Any suggestions for a dandruffy scalp? I've heard a lot of people have success with apple cider vinegar rinses, but I've never really dealt with dandruff too much as a problem. You might want to check out Halise, because I know she suffers with a dry scalp as well, and she's done a number of videos on how she deals with it. Her name is spelled Hallease, and that is also her channel name on YouTube. Check her out because she may have some answers for you. Aster Sayum, can you do an updated sunscreen video, please? That video is probably 6 months old or less, so not really. I'm using the same products. Going forward, what type of content would I like to do on YouTube? I think I just want to kind of carry on, at least in the areas that I've been doing, you know, a little bit of hair, lifestyle, fitness. I definitely want to do more fashion. I think I may need to grow my audience outside of who is already watching my videos, because I love fashion, but I find that those videos do poorly for me in general. But it's something that I'm interested in and something that I definitely want to make a bigger part of my channel. So I think I need to kind of find new people, basically build my audience from people who might not necessarily know about me, because the algorithms probably are recommending me only to people looking for hair videos rather than fashion ones. Do you still do film reviews? I loved your reviews when you were on Cinefix. You know, I haven't reviewed a movie unless it was just in conversation with a friend in a long time. And people have asked me to do movie reviews on my YouTube channel. That's one thing where I've always been very, very hesitant, because I feel like I can kind of wrap up all the other things I'm doing as just part of lifestyle, you know, like hair, fitness, fashion, like that's all just lifestyle. Movies feels like it's its own thing. So that's the one reason I've never done movie reviews on YouTube. And I'm not going to start another channel just for that, because that would be such a long, slow road. Do I have a boyfriend or fiance? I have neither. I am dating. So I've got some balls in the air. Let's put it that way. I'm not interested in being in a committed relationship, because I've got my own plans. Hey, Black Dove. Wits Water. Yes, online dating. You know, I think actually someone was asking me what kind of videos I want to do in the future. I actually do want to do a video about online dating. Just tips for safety, first of all, because you never really know who you're dealing with online dating. And also how to detect a fuckboy and how to reverse fuckboy, because I am the fuckboy now. Thank you, Monty. You've heard California is bad for dating. I think that's probably true. I mean, I think it also depends on what you're looking for. I have so many friends who just hate it, and I have moments like that too, but I also am pretty easygoing. Like, I don't really want a boyfriend at all. So I just kind of like, I date, you know, who I'm dating, and we keep it simple. And then when that runs its course, I move on. Reverse fuckboy, teach us. That's sort of like an inside joke with me and my friends. But honestly, how do I put this? My ideal situation, all right, with a guy is he comes over, we make a healthy meal together, we Netflix and mind your business, okay? And then he gets the fuck out of my house. I am the fuckboy now. Did you ever lose a significant amount of weight? Yeah. At my heaviest, I was probably 50 pounds heavier than I am now. And I lost that weight throughout college, I would say, you know, just over my 4 years there. And in the year since, I have fluctuated back and forth. I haven't gone all the way back up to that 50. I haven't ever fully regained that 50 pounds, but you guys have seen on my channel that I have gone up and down over the years, whether I'm dealing with, medical issues, depression, things like that. So yeah, it's definitely been a long, slow road, and I think that I'm more stable now because my lifestyle has also evolved slowly to be able to maintain a lower weight where I'm not, basically destroying myself with a bad diet. Okay, YHLI 25. You have learned about a lot of companies having large amounts of lead and heavy metals in them. Yeah, I mean, you really definitely have to make sure you're buying your fresh herbs or dried herbs, whatever the case is, from reputable places. I like Mountain Rose Herbs. I feel like they're a trustworthy company. I hate that they never offer free shipping, no matter how much stuff you're buying, because I hate paying shipping. It really just sticks in my craws, really crinkles my sphincter. I hate it, but I do trust them. So I buy a lot of my Ayurvedic herbs and things from them. I remember the brand Hesh. I've talked about this in a video before. They had a recall because allegedly rat feces were found in some of their products, which not ideal. So yeah, you definitely want to make sure you are looking into the brands that you are buying from when you're buying things like herbs or really any products whatsoever. I saw a report within the past 2 weeks that apparently like dangerous chemicals that are not listed on the labels were found in something like 90% of hair products targeted toward Black women, which just fuels all of my conspiracy theories about how they're just trying to wipe us out. Podcast, How to Be a Fuckboy. Marielle, you better stop. I have never tried bulkapothecary.com. I don't think I've ever even heard of that, but I will have to look into it. Blair, yes, this is the Lisa Eldridge Velvet Lip. This is the darkest one. This is Velvet Jazz, and I love it. It's my first time wearing it today. I'm so glad I bought it. I definitely paused when I saw the prices of the lipsticks, and I actually slept on it a couple nights. I didn't even go back the next day. I was just like, let me think about this. And then she put up her video where she demoed the colors, and I think I pulled the trigger before the video was even done playing. When am I doing another giveaway? I don't know, because I think if I do another giveaway, I might have to just do it on IG, which I hate to say. It's always been a huge pet peeve of mine when people do YouTube videos and they're just like, to join this or to enter this giveaway, follow me on IG and do this and do that. And it's like this whole like scavenger hunt to enter a damn giveaway. The problem is when I have selected my winners in the past for giveaways, I have not heard back from them to actually be able to send them their prizes more than 70% of the time. It's ridiculous. I'm very clear about my instructions on how to claim your prize, and then I just never hear from them at all. I think people just aren't good about checking their messages or checking responses to comments on YouTube. And then I end up sitting on prizes for months and months and months and then just donating them to the women's shelter or something. So I think the next time I do a giveaway, it'll probably be on Instagram. And, I am trying to grow my Instagram. At first, it was just for fun and basically to make sure no one could take my name on Instagram and make me have to buy it from them if I wanted it later. But I think, as a possible business opportunity for me, I should actually be actively trying to grow it. So I think my next giveaway will be Instagram, because I feel like people check their DMs there way more. Allie, what's up, girl? Wink, wink, indeed. My IG is the exact same as my name here. It's Nappy Headed Jojoba. It's linked up under pretty much all of my recent videos as well now these days, because I know it's a little tricky for some people to spell Nappy Headed Jojoba. It's good for SEO, but not good for conversation. When people ask me what my YouTube channel name is, I'm just like, ugh. Okay, so you remember Don Imus, and then I have to go into a whole explanation. All right, guys, it is almost 6 o'clock, so we're going to be wrapping this up. I figured I would do this for half an hour, but you guys really showed up for me in a way I was not expecting, and it's been fun, but it's almost time for a new toddy. So let me answer a few more questions. Where did the name Nappy Headed Jojoba come from? Any story on it? Yes. Don Imus, who is a decrepit old white man who had a career in radio, famously called the Rutgers women's basketball team nappy-headed hoes roughly 10 years ago. It was a huge snafu. He was fired and eventually got his job back, I think less than a month later, but that's neither here nor there. That's the way things go when you got white privilege. Anyway, he was fired. And I just thought it was a really funny incident, honestly. Like, I know a lot of people were like up in arms, like, I can't believe he said that. It's like, you can't believe he said that? He's a dumb old white man. Quite frankly, I'm surprised that he's even with it enough to come up with an insult that sounds like something that would be more along the lines of like what Method Man would have said about these women. And I just thought that always stuck in my head. And then a few years later, I wanted to enter a contest on YouTube that was actually being hosted by Naptural85. And I was like, well, I don't want to use like my name as my YouTube channel because back then being anonymous was a lot more important. And it still is important to me. Like, I'm not anonymous, obviously, but I do like to protect my privacy and I don't necessarily want my full name out there. So I was just like, oh man, like nappy-headed hoes. I love jojoba oil. And I live for a groan-inducing pun. Any of my friends can tell you that about me. It's, well, I think it's a gift. My friends think it's a curse, but I'm quick with it, okay? So yeah, nappy-headed jojoba came to me right away. And I remember I was out walking. I was walking home from Trader Joe's. And I was like, I have to make sure that this is available. So I ran home to make sure that the name was still available. I was like, I can't believe no one's taken this because I'm that insane. Like what other maniac would come up with that? And now here we are, nappy-headed jojoba. And, you know, the name, it's not the easiest thing for people to understand, but once you get it, the good news is you will find me. Like if you Google nappy-headed jojoba, you're going to find me. Yes, D.L. Hughley did agree with him on Leno. I remember. And I kind of like agreed with D.L. Hughley's like argument that everyone was so up in arms about this. Just like, look, you're giving more power to this than it deserves. Like, he's so irrelevant. Why are you so mad? Oh, hey, I'm glad that you were able to enjoy their content too. Those are 3 of my favorite YouTubers / just resources in general. Hi, Chidera. Tarji. I hope I'm saying your names right, by the way, everybody. I'm just doing my best. But yeah, I'm glad somebody got it immediately. Every once in a while, like there's someone out there who like gets it right away and like, yeah, we can. Gunwin, you're a friend in my head too. I see you in my comments all the time. Hi, Mr. Alu from Argentina. Yeah, of course, old men, 614 girl. Of course, old men shouldn't talk like that, but they are going to. I don't want to seem complacent about it, but in a way I am because like I refuse to waste my energy getting upset over irrelevant people being dumb. Hi, Christina. Bye, D Walker. Yeah, I think we're gonna get it wrapped up here. Thank you, Monty. How can we get me to 100K? Girl, if I knew the answer, I would be at 100K. Geraldine, exactly. Let old racist men be what they're going to be. They're going to die in 30 minutes anyway. Yeah. You know, I just ate KK or Kai Kai. I just ate my last bag of those fried garlic cloves that I got at Muji in Japan. And it was like, I was salting them with my tears as I was eating them because I knew it was my last bag. And I don't think I can get them here. They're pretty much at any Muji you go to in Japan. They're not here. And it is the best snack, especially with a nice hoppy IPA. So good. Oh my God, Ali, are you going to be in NOLA? Oh, girl. Cool. Okay. All right. I'm so excited. But yeah, I will be in touch with you guys about the NOLA meetup. It will probably be like, I want to say the weekend of January 12th, if I'm remembering the date correctly. Yeah, That's the Saturday, I think January 12th. So if you guys are in NOLA or able to get to NOLA the 12th, I think that is going to be the day. So let's maybe have some toddies together down in the Big Easy and eat some beignets and just cut it up. I'm really excited to have my first meetup. A little nervous, but yeah, that's going to do it for this one. And I will see you guys tomorrow, not live, but in tomorrow's video. And then I will see you guys again next week at 5 because this went pretty smoothly. I'm so relieved. I was afraid that this wasn't going to work at all. Thank you guys for moderating as well, because it was a lot to just try to answer your questions and then have to kick the racists out. But I think that's it. So bye, guys, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.